Today, I am beyond tingling with excitement, folks. We have our very first spiritual healer on our show. I would say the world renowned Lorenzo.
Well, I will try to be, but I take it one day at a time, and I do my best every time, of course. I try to give it the best that I can, 100% always.
Awesome. Well, folks, for people who are listening, Lorenzo did bring his best and it was insane. I just want to tell everyone before we start my
Definitely.
experience with you. So, for folks who are listening, my husband recently lost his mother and he found Lorenzo, and we were honored enough to get an appointment and go to Lorenzo's house. And when you walk in Lorenzo's house, you feel the peaceful energy. It's like nothing I've ever experienced before. And then we went into more like an inner sanctum, like an inner room, and my heart started pounding out of my chest. I don't think you knew that, but I was
No.
sitting there and I was
Oh,
pounding
wow.
because I felt the energy and I was just like, something is going to happen. And then he contacted my deceased mother-in-law, and it was so interesting because my husband on the drive over, he wanted to hear this and that and the other thing, and he didn't. Instead, he just heard messages of love. And it was the most healing, the most cathartic experience for our whole family. And Lorenzo, I just want to thank you for
Oh, my
that.
pleasure.
You brought you brought that man so much peace. And I think your gift, the giving peace to all of these people in the world, is just one of the most beautiful things. Welcome to the Five Flavors of Happiness, hosted by Susan Piper. So I kind of want to throw out my traditional first question,
Okay.
and I want to start with you by
Yes,
asking about when you found this gift and then the courage to make this gift your career.
definitely. Well, first of all, thank you for having me with you on your podcast. I appreciate it. And it was my pleasure that I was able to help your husband get some closure with his loving mom and that passed. And I always try to give the best of my ability to help people out and to give people some closure and peace. And that is one thing that really makes me who I am and gives me the strength to continue every day and do what I love to do the best. And said that I was very young, to be honest with you. I would say it started connecting in a very weird way when I was maybe 7 years old. And I had no idea what was going on. And it took me a long time because some people thought that, I might be crazy and hearing voices. And it was a very tough time for me at a very young age. It's like, okay, who is talking to me? And it got to a point where, some people thought that I was schizophrenic, to be honest with you, and hearing voices or messages and seeing visions. And so I left it alone, but I did it quietly for a very long time. Of course, it's like, depends on the culture where you come from as well. And these things to so many cultures, connecting with the spirit of loved ones is a no-no. And, you have to be careful who you tell and who you share your gift with. So I left it alone, and that was way back when I was still back home in Lebanon. That's where originally I'm from, Beirut, Lebanon. And then I migrated to the United States, at the age of 14. And then as I went along in high school, I went on a trip to New Orleans, Louisiana. And, New Orleans is full of psychics and mediums and magic and beautiful things that has to do with spirituality, and I dug deeper and deeper and I started doing a lot of reading about it, and watching videos and documentaries. I was like, oh, that's what it is. So, for a very long time, I kept it for a secret. As a secret, I did not want to share and go public with it. I honestly went public later on in life where, from little experiences here and there, that when I spoke to people, it gave them closure. It gave them peace of mind. It gave them happiness that their loved one is okay, you know? And every psychic medium is different. The way they connect with spirit, the way they connect with the spiritual world, with the after death experiences. You know, some people write down things and jot down things. Some people get visions. Um, I'm always very honest, 100% with the client, and I tell them if I can't feel, hear, or say, I'm not just going to say anything just to talk, you know? I have to make sure I'm having a healthy connection. And back in, I would say about 10 plus years ago, I went publicly with it. And, it's word of mouth. One client would tell a friend or a family member, and it just spread like that, word of mouth. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Um, so just out of curiosity, what is spirit what does spirit mainly say? What are the is there any like similar messages that you get to give people?
Well, I have to be very honest with you. Every connection is different. Every um, message is different. And every person that is a medium connects in their own special ways, as I was saying prior to this question. I will only explain my experience when I connect with spirit and the way that I do things and the way it happens to me. And I'm going to be very honest with you from the get go. Up till today, and I don't know when, I honestly will tell you, I don't know how this happens, but I know it's a gift. I know it's a blessing. And I use my gift and my blessing to help people. And I open my energy and I open the light and I send it to the universe and I send it to heaven. And it's up to spirit to use my energy and light, opening a portal between the physical world and the spiritual world to connect and send their messages or communicate with me.